Hey, what's up guys? It's Officer Ray with the New Mexico State Police. We're gonna ride along with the New Mexico State Police motor team. In 1933, when the New Mexico State Police was founded, it was actually called the New Mexico Motor Patrol, and it was just motorcycles. So it's one of our traditions. We have a lot of traditions with the state police. This is one of them that goes back to day one. Hey guys, I'm here with Officer Kevin Truesdale. He's one of the motor team members. He's also an instructor. So Kevin, thanks for joining us today.
Not a problem.
So just kind of break down the motor school for us. How often you guys train, that kind of stuff.
Well, motor school is 3 weeks long. We start out with motorcycle safety foundation, maybe 2 days. Then we get into some figure eights. We move on to more advanced stuff in the 3rd week, which is shooting from the bike, speed day, dirt day, where we'll take the bikes out into the mesas and teach you how to ride on dirt. Once that's all finished up and you graduate, you're also issued a nickname that the instructors will choose for you based on how you did while you were in motor school.
So what's kind of an example of nicknames?
Well, for instance, my nickname is Yogi. And the reason why is because posture is everything when you're riding a motorcycle. So sitting up straight helps you to get through the corners better. And when I would go through exercise, I would lean forward and my elbows would stick out and I looked like a big old happy bear riding my bike. So, and then I stole people's lunches at lunchtime too. So I got Yogi.
Once you get issued your motorcycle, do they take away your unit?
No,
you
they
only
don't.
Have your motorcycle?
Actually, we'll get a SUV that can pull a trailer. We do get issued a fully enclosed trailer, and the reason for that is a lot of officers don't have the ability to put their bikes inside a garage, and we want them garage. Most of the time you get to choose which vehicle you want to drive, so the more you're on it, the better rider you're going to be.
I'm just watching you guys yesterday. It's on a whole other level than what I thought. What you guys are capable of and what you guys do. It's pretty impressive.
It is, and there's a lot of people that can't make it through motor school. There's a lot of guys that come in and they fail out because they can't figure that you can turn a motorcycle in an 18-foot circle, and they just won't do it. There are a lot of injuries that come with it.
When I was with you guys yesterday, I noticed you had a bunch of obstacles set up on the course. Can you just kind of go over the different courses? I understand they vary in difficulty from easier, and then they progressively get a lot harder.
Yes, they do. The first 2 courses is the slow cone and the offset, and basically that would kind of simulate going through a crowd at like State Fair or something like that, trying to get to where you're going, or even the walk at Chimayo. The next one goes to the intersection. That would kind of simulate trying to get through an intersection where there's cars to get to a crash. The next one would be the cone pattern 3. It's just a little bit harder, more difficult course, but that would indicate also trying to get around traffic or pedestrians. Then we go to the 360, which would be like a U-turn in a traffic lane. That one is the hardest. It's 18 feet, and that's about as tight as we can push the bikes to turn in. Then after that we go to the high-speed stuff. High-speed stuff is very important. One of the courses is 30-mile-an-hour cone weave. That simulates things coming out of the back of a vehicle or debris on the interstate. Teaches you how to ride through that without crashing.
This is Officer Gomez. What's up, brother?
How's it going?
How you doing today, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. How you doing?
Good. So I see you got a couple bikes here. Tell us about the bikes a little bit.
This right here is the 2011 Khalasar Concours. What we have right here is our saddlebags. It's kind of the necessities of what you'll need on for traffic stops. Just paperwork for your diagrams, anything like that if we end up with crashes. When it comes to the hand grips, of course you've got your lights, you've got your comms. Same thing with the BMW. Lights and everything is going to be on the right. Comms are always going to be on the left, just so you don't get them mixed up.
You don't have to take your hands off the bars. Everything is accessible.
Everything's accessible. So if I'm riding down the highway, I'm able to just hit my emergency equipment without having to take my hands off and go looking for it. What we teach a lot of the new guys is to learn where your buttons are. You want to know where it's at without even having to look at it.
So yesterday I was with you guys out at the training grounds. Can you tell me a little bit about what skills does it reinforce, that kind of thing?
Well, it kind of just refreshes of what you've learned in the motor school. Everything kind of just builds up to what you're going to be doing out on patrol on the highway. From obstacles coming, at you, to obstacles being in the roadway to where you have to swerve out of the way, braking, if we catch someone speeding and it's a small 2-lane road, being able to turn around and not end up in the dirt. And it all just builds up to where you start out with the small stuff, as in just stopping, to where you're doing a 360 inside an 18-foot circumference. And you'll notice a lot of guys, before they even go into the obstacles, will work on their turning, what we call a friction zone. And that's just having your throttle and your clutch being at the perfect same time, to where you're able to keep the bike upright.
Yeah, I was noticing the guys yesterday were kind of just fun.
So I mean, if you pull the clutch in too much, you're going to fall over. If you let it out too much, it's going to swing you out too wide, and you're going to end up taking cones out. So we have to manage to keep that in a kind of perfect harmony.
So I've followed you guys on the interstate last night for quite a while, or yesterday, and I was noticing when you guys were changing lanes, someone from the front would turn on their lights and get over, and the rest of the guys would pull in front of them. Can you explain what that is, and what the reasoning behind it is?
What we call that is a mag movement. Now we have a lot of bikes. It's not just a few bikes, so we have to be able to get everybody over safely. So the 2 lead bikes, they're going to set the pace. The lead bike on the left, he's going to let you know how many riders he wants out and which direction. So what he'll do is hold up 2 fingers if he wants 2 riders behind his helmet, hold it up, and you don't move until you get the direction on which way he wants you to go. If he wants to go to the left, he'll point out to the left. At that point, you have to turn on your emergency equipment and only your rears, because you don't want anybody in front pulling over or slamming on their brakes. They'll check to their left to do their head checks, move over, and just let off the throttle and let the whole team move into the lane, and then they'll turn off their emergency equipment, catch up, and then we just proceed forward.
Cool. Yeah, I was really impressed by that. There's so much that goes into it that you don't even think about. Something like you guys riding in a pack, and just a simple lane change, what goes into that?
Yes.
So it was pretty cool. I was really impressed. So making a traffic stop in a marked car or SUV, there's a certain way you position it to protect not only yourself but the violator. How does that differ when you're on a motorcycle and you just have just the motorcycle? What are some considerations?
On the motorcycle, we'll actually position it the same way that we're going to do a unit. When we're on the motorcycle, and I'll go ahead and demonstrate, and we're coming up to a traffic stop, what we try to do is we try to call out the plate before. Now when we call out the plate, this is actually before we have them pulled over, so that way dispatch has the information. We try to get our kickstands down as quickly as we can before we even come to a stop. That way all we have to do is just lean it over, and when we get off the bike, we grab right here, step, keeping our eyes on the vehicle itself. Every officer's different on whether they want to keep their helmet on or off. I actually take off my helmet just so I can hear better. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and step back, place my helmet, get in my saddle bag, retrieve my cover, and then make my approach to the vehicle.
So somebody told me something about special names that you guys have for each other, your motor names. What's yours and what does it mean?
I myself had ended up getting the nickname Jerky. The reason why is anytime I would go through any of the cone patterns, I didn't quite have the throttle and clutch down to where I was going back and forth in the jerking movement. It was never smoothly, so I ended up getting that nickname.
All right, guys, you might remember Officer Carl. I know you haven't seen him in a while and you might be wondering where he's at, but he was actually a motor team member for quite a while. So let's check in with him and see what he's up to.
Thanks for having me back. Officer Carl, obviously. Ray, thanks for that intro. Miss seeing the motor guys. Loved my time on the motor team. But had to be gone for a couple months doing some foot surgery. Get my toes back to working normal so I can, you know, do my dancing. But glad to be back. Glad to be back in front of you guys. So here's the dealio. We got a guy who stopped by my office, and I thought it'd be a cool segment. You guys get to meet him, kind of find out something that's important to all state policemen and officers, and hey, anybody that has a job, really. Retirement. What happens at the end of your career, okay? So without further ado, let me introduce our guest. Go for it. Thanks for having me, Carl. Hey, and your vlogs, they're pretty good. No, but the whole crew that you got working, Ray, Liz, and Haley behind the scenes, spot on. Really like watching the vlogs. Informative and entertaining. How about some highlights over your career? I know you've had the opportunity to do a lot of cool stuff. Just kind of give us a quick rundown of you know what you had the opportunity to do. All right, well, I've been very fortunate over my whole career to do a lot of cool stuff. Went into patrol right out of the academy like everybody else. After my 2 years, I tried out for the K-9 team, was selected, loved it. Did some highway interdiction, enjoyed myself. Dog passed away, unfortunately, and found myself going back to patrol without the dog for about a year. Then tried out, was selected to go into Investigations Bureau. Did that for a couple years, worked a lot of homicides, enjoyed working the bigger cases. I was selected to go over to the FBI Southern New Mexico Game Task Force. I was there for 5.5 years working with the feds. Good group of people there as well, and gave me a bigger spectrum of law enforcement and how we work together with different agencies, state, federal, and county. From there, I missed the uniform and wanted to come back to patrol so I could try out for motors. I was fortunate enough to get selected for motors. Did that for 3 years. Great traveling around the state, meeting people, working fiestas, parades, and everyday patrol ops. Some could be said, you know, driving that motorcycle, it's nice. It was very fortunate I got to do that. And then as I realized my career was kind of getting into its waning years, I decided the PIO position came open, so I gave it a run. And it was fortunate for me because it was right at the time that the different media platforms were coming out, and we were doing Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and hats off to Miami PD. They were kind enough to kind of give us some guidelines to work on, and we took it from there. And doing the vlogs has been a blast, and just the little PSAs and, you know, the day-to-day basis with the press releases and things of that nature. Also, no qualms. Really enjoyed it. I'm gonna miss that. How long have you been in the state police? I purchased 2 years of military time. I was in the Air Force for just under 12 years prior to this career. I purchased that, and so now I can retire at 19 years instead of the 20 years, 10 months. We do have a great retirement, by the way, if anybody's looking at that. Now new officers, when they come in, they do 25 years at 75%. If they want to go a little longer, I think it's 27.5. They're looking at 80%, and then probably up to 30, they're looking at 90%. So great retirement, and it's very nice to know that that money will be there for the rest of my life, regardless of what the next chapter brings. It will be, it's nice knowing that you have that security blanket there. What will you miss most about the job? I'm sure there's a lot of things that you've done and that you're going to miss. So that's a tough one. Let's see. Over the course of my career, as I said, got to do a lot of cool stuff, but bar none, probably public interaction. I really enjoy talking to people on a daily basis. If you guys haven't picked up on that yet, I do like to talk. And you know, you don't see people in their best light every day. Obviously, we don't get called to come over to the house for coffee. It's normally for something that you know, you're cleaning up. But deep down, you got to realize that everybody's good. They're trying their best, and we just don't see them when they're at their best. So I will miss the public interaction. I'll miss the guys I work with, obviously. I've made a lot of good friends in this career and a few best friends along the road that will, you know, I hope that will be with me for the rest of my life. You know, just because I'm retiring doesn't mean everything comes to an end. Biggest sacrifice, biggest regret, anything you wish you would have done, because you did a lot of stuff, but anything you wish you would have done, did different? My biggest regrets in this career. Another good question. Obviously, you had some help with these questions because I don't think you're smart enough to come up with them. Don't take that personally, Carl. You're a good dude. Let's see. Besides missing some birthdays and anniversaries, I'm sorry, but my wife and kids have been through my whole career with me. We were married before I came into the job, and I appreciate that and love them for it. That they understood that crashes and shootings and things of that nature don't necessarily work around an 8-hour schedule. So I miss, you know, I regret missing some of those things. Probably the biggest regret career-wise was probably not promoting when I had the opportunity. I was always happy doing what I was doing, whether it was K9 Motors, FBI, IB, and I didn't want to leave those jobs at the time. It was just, I enjoyed doing them. So that was probably the biggest regret. But you need quality employees, and I hope that I was one through my career. Hopefully I was a good employee. What's next? Oh. Well, anybody that knows me would probably know the answer to this. It's going to be golf, and then probably when I get done with that, a little more golfing. At least for the first couple months, get it out of my system. And then we're going to do some traveling. We're going to have the opportunity to go see our son and his wife that are both active duty over in England. Going to go visit them for a couple weeks. Looking forward to that. And just, you know, taking it easy. Probably in the fall, if anybody's looking for, you know, maybe a greeter or Walmart greeter or something. Who knows? Who knows what will happen after that? But I have a couple other job opportunities, and I'm going to... I still like to think that I'm semi-young and in good enough shape that I can pursue something after this career. And there is life after the state police. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Golf. Who would have known? I'm out of patrol. I can vision myself probably helping out Mounted Patrol. They are an auxiliary police force that have police powers with whatever their agency they're working with, whether it's state police, local, county, or city authorities, or public regulation committee. I spoke to them. They might be interested in doing a vlog for Mounted Patrol. We'll see. So yeah, that's a good way for me to stay in the law enforcement community and give back to the community as a whole. It is an auxiliary. Obviously, you don't get paid unless somebody can change that up in legislature. But that's, yeah, I can envision that. So I don't know if you're going to see another Officer Carl vlog per se for Mounted Patrol, but you never know. Let's not rule it out because I know you guys are going to be like, man, this is the last time we're going to see Carl. Yeah, that probably is not going to happen either. But yeah, so Mounted Patrol. And excited to move on to the next chapter. Mounted Patrol, huh? Yeah, I heard that. Cool. Great organization. Good group of guys. All right, man, the floor is yours. Wrap it up. Any closing thoughts that you'd like to share with the viewers? Thank you for letting me be part of your routine, whether it was during a day, a week, a month, whatever, and you clicked on here and you kind of had to listen to me babble on about stuff. I appreciate the time. I appreciate you letting me have that opportunity to be in front of you. And I'm gonna miss the people I work with in doing this. But one last time, peace out. Stay safe. If you're ever down in southern New Mexico, look me up. I'll be here. has already been vandalized. That's what I'm talking about, people. Look, somebody already put cowboy stickers all over this car. Shame.